testing is crucial to the success of any software product in this competitive world. Though automation testing is the rage these days, unfortunately, it cannot be applied in all the scenarios. No matter how good automated tests are, you cannot automate everything. Manual tests play a pivotal role in software development and come in handy whenever you have a case where you cannot use automation. Hence, there is still a lot of demand for people with skills relevant to manual testing. This manual testing interview questions video is the perfect guide for you to master software testing. In this video I list top 20 manual testing interview questions with answers with proper example. To start manual testing interview questions and answers session, I request you to subscribe my YouTube channel and press bell icon to get real-time updates of interview questions and answers, which is help to prepare interview.
What is software testing?
Software testing is a process used to identify the correctness, completeness and the quality of developed software. It includes a series of activities conducted with the intent of finding errors in software so that it could be corrected before the product is released to the market.
Why is software testing required? Why is software testing required? What are the two main categories of software testing?
Software testing is a huge domain, but it can be broadly categorized into two areas such as: first is manual testing. Manual testing is the oldest type of software testing where the testers manually execute test cases without using any test automation tools. It means the software application is tested manually by QA testers. Second is automation testing. Automation testing is the process of using the assistance of tools, scripts, and software to perform test cases by repeating predefined actions. Test automation focuses on replacing the manual human activity with systems or devices that enhance efficiency.
What exactly is quality control? Is it similar to quality assurance?
Quality control is a product-oriented approach of running a program to determine if it has any defects, as well as making sure that the software meets all of the requirements put forth by the stakeholders.
What different types of manual testing are there?
Different types of manual testing are black box testing, white box testing, unit testing, system testing, integration testing, and acceptance testing.
Explain the difference between alpha testing and beta testing.
Alpha testing. It is a type of software testing performed to identify bugs before releasing the product to real users or to the public. Alpha testing is a type of user acceptance testing. Beta testing. It is performed by real users of the software application in a real environment. Beta testing is also a type of user acceptance testing.
What are the different levels of manual testing?
4 levels of manual testing are: first is unit testing. It is a way of testing the smallest piece of code referred to as a unit that can be logically isolated in a system. It is mainly focused on the functional correctness of the standalone module. Second is integration testing. It is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested to verify if they are working as they intend to when integrated. The main aim here is to test the interface between the modules. Third is system testing. In system testing, all the components of the software are tested as a whole in order to ensure that the overall product meets the requirements specified. There are dozens of types of system testing, including usability testing, regression testing, and functional testing. And fourth is user acceptance testing. The final level, acceptance testing, or what, user acceptance testing, determines whether or not the software is ready to be released.
What is a test bed in manual testing?
The test bed is an environment configured for testing. It is an environment used for testing an application, including the hardware as well as any software needed to run the program to be tested. It consists of hardware, software, network configuration, and application under test, other related software.
Explain the procedure for manual testing.
The manual testing process comprises the following steps: planning and control, analysis and design, implementation and execution, evaluating exit criteria and reporting, test closure activities.
What is the test case?
A test case is a document which has a set of conditions or actions that are performed on the software application in order to verify the expected functionality of the feature. Test cases describe a specific idea that is to be tested, without detailing the exact steps to be taken or data to be used. For example, in a test case, you document something like test if coupons can be applied on actual price.
What is API testing?
API testing is a type of software testing where application programming interfaces, APIs, are tested to determine if they meet expectations for functionality, reliability, performance, and security. In simple terms, API testing is intended to reveal bugs, inconsistencies or deviations from the expected behavior of an API. API testing is performed at the most critical layer of software architecture, the business layer.
What's the difference between a bug and a defect?
A bug is a just fault in the software that's detected during testing time. A defect is a variance between expected results and actual results, detected by the developer after the product goes live.
What is the difference between a bug, a defect and an error?
A bug is a fault in the software that's detected during testing time. They occur because of some coding error and leads a program to malfunction. They may also lead to a functional issue in the product. These are fatal errors that could block a functionality, results in a crash, or cause performance bottlenecks. Defect. A defect is a variance between expected results and actual results, detected by the developer after the product goes live. Defect is an error found after the application goes into production. In simple terms, it refers to several troubles with the software products, with its external behavior or with its internal features. Error. An error is a mistake, misunderstanding, or misconception, on the part of a software developer. The category of developer includes software engineers, programmers, analysts, and testers. For example, a developer may misunderstand a design notation, or a programmer might type a variable name incorrectly, leads to an error. An error normally arises in software. It leads to change the functionality of the program.
What is regression testing? When to apply it?
A regression test is a system-wide test whose main purpose is to ensure that a small change in one part of the system does not break existing functionality elsewhere in the system. It is recommended to perform regression testing on the occurrence of the following events. When new functionalities are added. In case of change requirements. When there is a defect fix. When there are performance issues. In case of environment changes. When there is a patch fix.
What is the test harness?
A test harness is the gathering of software and test information arranged to test a program unit by running it under changing conditions like stress, load, data-driven, and monitoring its behavior and outputs. Test harness contains two main parts. A test execution engine. Test script repository.
What is test closure?
Test closure is a document which gives a summary of all the tests conducted during the software development life cycle and also gives a detailed analysis of the bugs removed and errors found. This memo contains the aggregate No. of experiments, total No. of experiments executed, total No. of imperfections discovered, add total No. of imperfections settled, total No. of bugs not settled, total No of bugs rejected and so forth.
Define what is a critical bug.
A critical bug is a bug that has got the tendency to affect a majority of the functionality of the given application. It means a large piece of functionality or major system component is completely broken and there is no workaround to move further. Application cannot be distributed to the end client unless the critical bug is addressed.
What is pesticide paradox? How to overcome it?
Defect cascading is the process of triggering other defects in the application. When a defect goes unnoticed while testing, it invokes other defects. As a result, multiple defects crop up in the later stages of development. If defect cascading continues to affect other features in the application, identifying the affected feature becomes challenging. You may make different test cases to solve this issue. Even then it is difficult and time-consuming.
What is defect cascading in software testing?
According to Pesticide paradox, if the same tests are repeated over and over again, eventually the same test cases will no longer find new bugs. Developers will be extra careful in those places where testers found more defects and might not look into other areas. Methods to prevent pesticide paradox. First is, To write a whole new set of test cases to exercise different parts of the software. And SabkuchhLearn is, to prepare new test cases and add them to the existing test cases. Using these methods, it's possible to find more defects in the area where defect numbers dropped.
What is black box testing, and what are the various techniques?
Black box testing, also known as specification-based testing, analyzes the functionality of a software/application without knowing much about the internal structure/design of the item. The purpose of this testing is to check the functionality of the system as a whole to make sure that it works correctly and meets user demands. Various black box testing techniques are: equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, decision table based technique, cause-effect graphing, use case testing.